Good evening, everybody. Today is June 17th. It is 7:03 p.m. We have quorum, so we will call this meeting to order. We will start with roll call. Commissioner Jones.
Present.
Commissioner Sani.
Recording in progress.
Commissioner Williams.
Here in my distinguished office. He says, I have a toothache and will be typing.
Okay,
Here.
got it. I see you, Commissioner Williams. Thank you. Commissioner Galvan, I am present. Commissioner Anderson.
Present.
Commissioner Bishop Henchman.
Here.
And Commissioner Zenjon.
I do not see him.
All right. Seeing we have 6 commissioners present out of 7, we will move forward. We'll go to item number 2 on the approval of the agenda. And ask any commissioners if they have any additions or changes. Commissioner Bishop Henchman.
Yes, I would like to move to postpone item 9C litter can resolution to the July meeting. And I would like to add, as I emailed everybody, as 11B or 10B under action agenda, a resolution supporting with condition the consolidated PUD and map amendment in ZC 24-15 901 Monroe Street. And that's me, Commissioner Jones, and Commissioner Sonic.
Understood. Are there any objections? None noted. We will add that to the agenda. Are there any, those 2 items, one that would remove, one that would add the resolution, and that resolution would be under the consent agenda, is that correct?
Action.
Under the action agenda. Did you catch that, Commissioner Jones?
Since it's late.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Are there any other commissioners who would like to add or remove anything from the agenda? I have one minor item on the resolution supporting the Edgewood residents request or the resolution supporting the Edgewood residents. I just wanted to put forth the, I didn't attach to that letter the names of the residents who are signing on to that letter. So I will send this out, but there's a list of about 20 or so residents that will basically be added as part of that, just as a note. So I will share that with folks shortly. Are there any objections? Seeing none, all right, we'll add that addition. Are there any other items by? I will make one note here. Mayor's Office Community Relations member, Mr. Anthony Black, called and basically asked if Director Pierre from the Department of Human Services would be willing to do a short presentation in Mr. Anthony Black's Mayor's Office Community Relation on the budget. So Ms. Pierre, I believe, will participate for that. Are there any objections to that change in the agenda? Okay, seeing none, and noted that will be added to the agenda. All right, let's just do a quick roll call approval of the agenda. Commissioner Jones? Aye. Yep. Commissioner Sani?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams? Aye. I see that. Thank you. Commissioner Williams says aye. Commissioner Galvan, I say aye. Commissioner Anderson?
Aye.
Commissioner Bishop Henchman?
Aye.
And Commissioner Zenjon is still not present. Okay, the ayes of the chair, the agenda has been approved for tonight. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes. and Commissioner Jones.
Yes. Minutes were shared on June 7th with all commissioners. There were a few clarifications that I needed. I think I got most of them. But I'll try sharing minutes for this meeting right after. Any questions on minutes or revisions?
What's the item on April 15th? 3B on the agenda? Or is that just a leftover from last month?
I believe Commissioner Jones, you had, there were some minor adjustments to that agenda.
Yeah,
Can you
I can
describe what
talk to
those are?
I was going to mention it.
Okay. Oh, in the next section. Sorry.
Excuse
Sorry,
me.
I
No,
jumped the
no,
gun.
you're okay.
To make it up, I move that we adopt the minutes of the May 20th.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Anderson. We'll move to roll call vote. Commissioner Jones, approval of the minutes. Commissioner Sani,
Aye.
Commissioner Anderson, I'm
Aye.
sorry, Commissioner Williams, is that aye? Okay. Commissioner Galvano vote aye, Commissioner Anderson,
Aye.
and Commissioner Bishop Henchman.
Aye.
Commissioner Zenjon is still not present. Okay. The ayes of the chair, the minutes from, from May 20th, regular meeting as drafted have been approved. Thank you very much. All right, item 3B, Commissioner Jones, do you want to cover the amendments to the April 15 minutes?
Yes. So the view agenda or the meeting minutes that were updated, I know Commissioner Bishop Henchman added in actually resolution numbers. So moving forward, I'll try to add that in. So that was the major change for the April 15 minutes. And then, yeah, that was all.
Okay.
Well, there, so no substantive changes, just, I don't know if we have to approve. I don't think we have to approve. We can, I mean, you can do whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I agree, since typically it takes a few days, but we can approve them as noted. I'm fine to kind of approve this as a just kind of as a voice vote for it. All those in, I guess, is there a move to approve the minutes? Adjusted.
Move to approve the minutes as non-transformatively adjusted by Mary Jones.
I second.
Yeah, are there any objections? No, we'll just do a quick voice vote. All in favor of approving the minutes from the April 15th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All in favor, nay. Commissioner Williams said aye. All right. As the chair, the ayes have it. The adjusted minutes have been approved. Thank you, Commissioner Jones. Moving right along, we'll go into officer reports. I'll start. I'll just make a note in general to commissioners. There seems to be more and more traffic on different items that may go to single commissioners and not necessarily everyone as a whole. So if you see something, please forward it on to all the other commissioners at the 5F at anc.dc.gov, and also recommend members of the public do the same thing. In addition, I'll mention that if members or commissioners want to provide it to the respective committees to also forward those along as well. That's all I have. Vice Chair Anderson. All right, nothing for Vice Chair Anderson. Treasurer report.
Yes. Yeah, so as I mentioned at our last meeting, last month, that is May, we received our quarterly allotment to show that we're back in good standing with city government.
Thank you.
So with a deposit of $4,702.97, we ended the month with $46,521.91. I can give you numbers in writing afterwards. Just reading numbers is weird. Additionally, uh, once we, thank you again for everyone for approving the amended Q2 QFR that I put out for vote last month. Once we approve the minutes from last month's meeting, this meeting, which we just did actually, I'll close out the rest of that QFR process. On top of that, I wanted to thank Commissioner Bishop Henchman for pushing the bylaws changes because of OAMC, putting them on our agenda this week, please, because OAMC is changing how the paperwork goes through just somewhat arbitrarily. So I appreciate anything kind of making this paperwork process for being financially aligned with the government a little more straightforward. So thank you for that. Nothing else.
All right, great. Thank you, Commissioner Sani. Commissioner Jones, anything on your end to report?
No additional.
All right. Moving on into the agenda for public comment. So members of the public, this is an opportunity for members of the public to provide a comment up to 2 minutes per speaker on any topic at all that may arise for notice or for just general comment period. And we will let all of the members of the public speak first, and then commissioners will have a chance after everyone has spoken to respond if they wish. So we'll start with announcements, with public comment, and feel free to raise your hand online, or if there's in person. There's nobody here, so just online, please let us know. All right. Seeing none, we'll wait just another couple moments. All right, seeing none, we will move on from public comment and do announcements from commissioners. Are there any commissioners that would like to make announcements about anything that may be happening in their district or anything at all? This is just folks will call out if they have questions or requests. Commissioner Sani.
On Saturday, DDOT is holding their open house for the Lincoln Road bicycle project that they had mentioned to improve safety for people using bikes, scooters, and everything in between along Lincoln Road. They presented both to ANC 5F as well as to our transportation committee. They are having, those were both online and kind of in person here. They'll be having an open house to show additional designs and collect feedback from residents this Saturday at Antwerp Rec Center. The website for the project contains the full-time information and room and such, but yeah, just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, I'll just add on to that that the website used to say 11 a.m. start. That was incorrect. In touch with DDOT, it is a 10 a.m. start. So 10 a.m. to noon at Edgewood Recreation Center. If you saw the website previously and it said something different. All right, any other commissioners have any comments, questions? Yes, Commissioner Jones.
A few events coming up. I know there's a Better Bus briefing, but I don't have the right date. I think it was supposed to be on June 20th. But I also noticed that they may have mixed up the date because they said Friday on the evening. So I will try and circle back about that. But I know a few seniors that attended the ANC meeting last week mentioned that they were concerned about bus routes no longer being along Edgewood Street and now being on 4th Street, and the potential issues or hazards with getting from Edgewood Street, specifically Edgewood Commons, all the way to 4th Street. So I did reach out to someone. I have not heard back about potential solutions for that. But I encourage you to attend the Better Bus briefing and ask questions. I have 2 other updates. I know it's getting very hot and very rainy. I know some things that can kind of help and support with this are the DC River Smart program. So potentially reaching out to them and submitting a request for your yard to get assessed for both trees and rain gardens and bayscapes. Trees are proven to create cooler areas as we enter kind of the hotter weather. So I encourage people to look into that. I can put the website into the chat. But while it's a minor solution, years down the road, we can hopefully have a cooler Eckington. My last update is trash can installations. I know Commissioner Bishop Henchman is working on that. I'm working on submitting some 311 requests and 5FO1, and we'll coordinate with any commissioners and kind of joint areas for that. That's all.
Great. Thank you very much, Commissioner Bishop Henchman.
Yes, thank you. What we're now calling Mamie Peanut Johnson Plaza is finished. You know, some minor stuff they're still working on, but you know, just in case people don't remember, commissioners as well as the Eckington Civic Association worked very hard to make sure that it resulted in a more coherent street layout, that we had crosswalks at every corner, that Eckington Place was street calmed. So, you know, I've been telling people, you know, honestly, I feel like as soon as we finish this one, we're gonna have to start on the next project for that intersection, which is a crazy intersection, but it is a big improvement. And I know we're hearing later on from Noma Bid about some art that they want to put in that intersection, and they're looking for input on it, so stay tuned on that. It is budget season, and I've been at the Wilson Building this month talking about the flood-prone spot of the MBT with PDOT. I've heard, I haven't gotten confirmed, but heard from very good sources that for the first time ever, there will be funding in the budget for a study on Rhode Island Avenue street safety. It's the one avenue in the high injury network that had no project at all this decade, next decade. Small project, big project, there was nothing, but I hear that that is changing. So hopefully that stays in the budget. Today was the DPW hearing, and I pressed the director on a agreement on snow removal for the Bryant Street Bridge, on keeping the Throne restroom in Alethea Tanner Park past its expiration date of September 30th of this year, as well as litter cans, which Commissioner Jones just mentioned. And then the only thing that hasn't been mentioned is DDOT is doing another, or phase 2 of its North Capitol study. Not really sure how it's different from phase 1 of the North Capitol study, but they had a in-person session this past Saturday that a lot of community members attended, and then a virtual session that I know Commissioner Galwan was at this past Monday, yesterday, no, 2 days ago, or yesterday,
Yeah.
long week already. So far, it sounds more like it's like an ideas generating thing. So if you've got ideas of how to make North Capitol Street better, please send them along to do that. And then some businesses moving into the neighborhood. Alero is a Mexican restaurant. We'll hear about them in a little bit because we have the settlement agreement in front of us. And then I haven't confirmed it, but I've heard on internet rumors that Love and Pop, which is a sandwich place in Dufron, I think, is moving to the ex-Eleanor space in going forward Avenue. So welcome to all of these new businesses. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Commissioner Bishop Henchman. Any other comments from commissioners? Yes, sorry, Commissioner
No
Anderson.
worries. Just wanted to give neighbors heads up. DC Water gave you a presentation a couple meetings ago regarding lead-free DC. Just as a reminder, we think some neighbors have gotten outreach from DC Water. Gotten it. One of the things that you do need to do is you have to basically opt into the program. And if you would like, essentially the program replaces the lead connection water pipe for free, but you do have to give consent to the contractor to replace the lead water pipe with a copper water pipe, water pipe. You can see if your property is like on deck to get that construction on the lead-free DC construction dashboard. Happy to share a link in the chat, but if you Google lead-free DC, it'll lead you to that site. There is as I mentioned, there's a paper that you do have to sign, which you can either return via email or via mail. They haven't announced, I think, specific construction dates, but I think sort of 5F05 is on deck to hopefully get construction like September-ish is what they were thinking. So please make sure to take part if you would like. Again, it is no cost to you. That is all.
Thank you very much. Last call for any other commissioners with any announcements. All right, not hearing or seeing any additional. Thank you, commissioners. We'll move on to announcements from representatives of elected officials. We'll start with the Mayor's Office of Community Relations, Anthony Black, who will defer his time to DHS Director Pierre. We're gonna give you some co-host ability. Just give us 1 second. And if you have a presentation, we can, there you go. Yeah, if you can post it in, we'll see what we can do to, it should be a 7-minute presentation. Director Pierre, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining tonight.
I'm assuming that somebody has a presentation. I think
Yeah.
either from the vocal. Okay.
Yeah, we're it just takes a minute for us to get it all set up here. 7. Yep. Okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah, you can go.
Director, do you have someone on your team sharing? Like, we have the slides to drop in chat, but someone to screen share it for those on.
Yeah, I think Anthony Black from the Mokos is going.
Like,
with-
Tyler Edge raising their hand? Or, yeah.
If Anthony is not, I think somebody else from my team, Tyler.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. All right, Tyler's gonna present.
All right, Tyler, you should have ability to share now.
All right, great. We see it. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, let me start by saying, can you guys see it still? Because I can't see it anymore.
I think Tyler just stopped sharing.
Tyler, can you reshare, please? All right,
There we go.
perfect. Thank you. Let me start by saying thank you for, commissioners, residents, and other members of the ANC 5F. My name is Rachel Pierre. I am currently the interim director of the DC Department of Human Services. I want to thank you for having me here today to present Mayor Bowser's fiscal year 26 budget, Grow DC. This budget supports a bold vision for growing DC into a larger, stronger, more inclusive, and more sustainable city for all residents. I'm going to spend a few minutes walking through some of the elements. I won't read every word on the slides, but I want to give a flavor of what's contained in the budget. It really reflects the values, accountability, opportunity, and community investments. And you can learn more about the budget, including this presentation, videos, and word by word investment at budget.dc.gov. Okay, so DC had a strong rebound in fiscal year 24, faster population growth than any other state. Violent crime dropped to the lowest in 30 years. Our schools continue to be the fastest improving urban district. We had a record tourism of 26 million visitors. DC led donation and converting office space to housing. And we've had 28 clean audits, 29 balanced budget, and we maintain 52 days of cash on hand. So as you know, fiscal year, this was a challenging budget year. And I'll just share some highlights of how fiscal year 25 supplemental, how we closed the gap. We were able to avoid furloughs and layoff. of all district government employees by implementing a hiring freeze and cutting non-personnel costs. We shifted spending to later years and captured additional revenues, and we managed to preserve key investments while addressing urgent financial pressures. So as you know, the impact of federal government job losses really impacted the district. We've also facing some real economic headwinds. DCE is uniquely impacted by the federal job cuts and remote work trends. Our revenue estimates will revise downward of $1 billion over the next 4 years due to job losses, lower consumer spending. This drives home the urgency of a growth agenda. Okay, so a sound budget for a strong future. Despite these challenges, we built a strong, sound, sustainable budget. We achieved structural balance without new taxes or dipping into any reserves. We've reduced $243 million in spending and avoided nearly $500 million in future obligations. We focused on smarter deployment of resources and cost effectiveness of service delivery. To build a growth agenda, we asked ourselves these 3 questions. We've centered people, economy, and building. So 1, does it keep people and families in DC and attract new residents? 2, does it really create economic activity to fund city services? And 3, does it attract new businesses and creates new jobs? So those were the 3 pillars. And we're making it easier for business to do business and grow here. Here are a few examples. We streamlined zoning, repealed burdensome programs, we've paused some environmental mandates, we've reduced business fees, taxes, and penalties. We've removed barriers to revitalizing vacant lots. And we're also investing in what makes, next slide, please. We're also investing in what makes DC exciting and competitive. Bringing the Commanders home to RFK was a big deal, transforming Capital One Arena, supporting our historic theaters and launching new tech hubs, expanding gaming options for commercial bingo, live poker, and blackjack tournaments to drive entertainment and economic activities. Go back one. Hold on. Thank you. Hold on. Here we go. Nope. Okay, I think it's the next one, but that's fine. Maybe here we go. Perfect. All right, so we continue our plans for the downtown comeback. It includes activations doing arena construction and cultural initiatives in Chinatown, with increasing new office conversions by expanding the housing and downtown program to Georgetown and Mount Vernon, and revitalizing commercial corridors and enforcing new vendors. Rather. And the fiscal 26 budget continues investment in our schools. So we've invested a total of $2.8 billion in total investment and $123 million increase from fiscal 25. We have $270 million for DCPS and DC charter schools for teacher raises. Another $2 billion for school modernizations, $10 million for tech upgrades, and childcare and early education programs are fully funded in the fiscal year 26 budget. Investing in a safe DC, we're investing in a safe DC to include $30 million for MPD officer hiring and technology, another $7.3 million for FEMS safety gears and fleet upgrades, new surveillance tool and enforcement policies, and we're moving forward on the new DC jail project. Investing in a clean DC with $4.6 million investment to support our Clean Corridors initiative with 80 DPW staff, $244,000 for DLPC vending enforcement team to work nights and weekends, $1.8 million for Department of Building Nuisance Abatement Fund to help address residential property maintenance and housing code violations. and affordable housing and economic development. We're delivering housing and growing our neighborhoods. So back to $100 million in the housing production trust fund, $23 million for the home purchase assistance program, and a new community and Berry Farms, Bruce Monroe, Park Morton, and Northwest One. Economic development, including $6 million repairs for the Northwest Theater, Lincoln Theater, and the Howard Theater.
Thank you, Director. We just hit time, but do you need a couple more minutes to finish out?
Yeah, so maybe what I can do, I'm sure that your constituents are interested in the Ward 5 investment, so maybe we can forward and I can just give a highlight of the Ward 5. So a couple of more slides. Yep, perfect.
Yep.
Thank you,
Move to extend time by 2 minutes.
Yeah, we'll move to extend time. Any objections? Second. Okay. All right. Thank you. We'll go ahead.
So
Go ahead, Director.
Oh, thank you. So for
Couple
Ward
more.
5 this year, the proposed budget includes $266 million to renovate and modernize public schools, including Langley Elementary School, Bunker Hill Elementary School, and Burroughs Elementary School. Another $27 million to renovate recreation community centers, including Harry Thomas and Brentwood Recreation Centers, Langdon Cornwall Recreation Center. $126 million in local and federal funds to support bridges, interchange, and streetscape improvement along Benning Road. $43 million to replace the existing New York Avenue Men's Shelter, and another $2 million for improvements to the DYRS Youth Service Centers. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. And again, for what I was not able to cover in this presentation, you can go to the budget.dc.gov website for any additional information and details.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll first start with any questions from commissioners. All right. Seeing none from commissioners, are there any questions from members of the public?
If there are questions, you can raise your hand on Zoom. We'll recognize you.
All right. And seeing none, Director, we have a quiet night here. Thank you very much for your time and for giving us an update on the budget. You have
Absolutely.
Hope you have a wonderful
Thank you.
evening. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Moving along, we will go to the Ward 5 Office Council Member, Zachary Parker. Do we have a representative from his office on the call? I know they are doing double duty because we have the same time period as ANC 5E, so they may be presenting right now. I noticed at the end of last meeting that one of their representatives showed up at the very, yes, Mr. Oliver Stout joined, I think, in the last 30 seconds and raised his hand. So if we get to that point, I'll ask maybe commissioners if they are willing to extend the meeting beyond that time, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge if it comes to that. All right, moving along to the next order of business. We have no presentations related to agenda items. We will move for the consent agenda. First, I want to ask, are there any commissioners that wish to take anything off the consent agenda that has not already been asked? Obviously, litter can resolution was removed off. And I'm going to add Commissioner Bishop Henchman.
A is an alpha and H is an hotel.
Okay, A is an alpha and H as an.
That's a moped
Yep.
ATV regulation and the settlement.
Okay. Any other commissioners wish to take anything off the consent agenda? All right, seeing none, those, is there, actually, we don't need to second that. That goes straight on to the action agenda. So the moped and AT in hotel will move to the action agenda. Did you catch that, Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
A and H will move to action agenda. Okay.
Point of inquiry, is anyone making live edits in the agenda right now? Or those previous?
I think Commissioner
I scratched out
Henchman
litter can.
scratched out the
Okay.
litter can, yeah.
Got it.
But no, I'm not.
Just in case anybody was waiting for the litter can resolution. So they know it's not coming.
All right, so on the consent agenda is the bylaws amendments on minutes approval, QFR approval, and definition of terms, the Franklin Street Bridge resolution, the request for hearing for the U.S. Attorney Jan Firo, the resolution supporting BZA application case, the resolution supporting letter from the Edgewood residents. Do I have a second to move the consent agenda to a vote? Second. All right, seconded by Commissioner Sani. We'll move to a roll call vote. Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Jones, aye. Commissioner Sani.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams. She votes aye. Thank you, Commissioner Galvan votes aye. Commissioner Anderson,
Aye.
Commissioner Bishop Henchman,
Aye.
and Commissioner Zenjan. Here, the ayes of the chair, all the items on the consent agenda has passed with a 6-0 vote. Thank you very much for everyone's hard work on those resolutions. We will now move to the action agenda. We'll start with the first item on the action agenda, which is the reimbursement request from Commissioner Bishop Henchman, which is attached for the receipts for PO box removal, purchase of the tablecloth, as shown, and nameplates and office supplies. So Commissioner Bishop Henchman, thank you for your assistance. Do you have any comments or questions?
It's itemized. I think they were all approved in the budget, so now it's just reimbursing the expenses. The office supplies, just so you know what they are, there's some pens in case somebody shows up and they don't have a pen, some duct tape, and a door stopper for when we hit the door with fur.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'd like to, I'll move to approve the reimbursement request by Commissioner Bishop Henchman. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Anderson. We'll go to a roll call vote. Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Sani.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams. Aye. Thank you. Commissioner Galvan. Aye. Commissioner Anderson.
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner Bishop Benjamin.
Aye.
And then Commissioner Zenjan is not present. All right. Me as the chair, the reimbursement request has been approved. The treasurer, you may cut a check to Mr. Bishop Henchman as time allows. Thank you very much. Thank you for your assistance on that, Mr. Bishop Henchman. All right. We'll move next to the resolution supporting with condition the consolidated PUD and map amendment for 901 Monroe Street. Commissioner Bishop Henchman, I know this is a late ad, but if you can go
Yes,
through it, I'd appreciate it.
and thank you all for agreeing to add it to the agenda. Zoning is hearing it soon, next week, I think. So it's important that if we take a position that we get it in.
Okay.
And thank you for Commissioner Jones and Commissioner Sani for co-sponsoring this. And after I say my piece, I'll turn it over to you if there's anything you want to add. So 901 Monroe Street, this is an empty lot next to the Brooklyn Metro Station. We've had them present to the full commission in November of 2024 and in December of 2024. A lot of questions from commissioners, a lot of questions from the community. They answered them. We had zoning, our zoning committee have a meeting on it in November 2024, and then another meeting this past week where it was further discussed. ANC 5B, which is where the project is located. I want to make that clear. This is not in ANC 5F. It is 250 feet from ANC 5F. Obviously, the railroad tracks divide our two commissions. This project is at the Brooklyn Metro Station. So the east of the tracks, well represented on 5B. The west of the tracks, not at all represented on 5B. we represent the west of the tracks. So I think it is important, and indeed all of you did, because in November we adopted a resolution asking for party status in this matter. That's currently pending with the zoning commission. This resolution will go a step further and signify our approval of the project with condition, and the conditions are the same ones that 5B had in their resolution, aside from one related to an alley that is I've never been to and is not in our commission area. So we'll let them fight that battle. But those conditions are, just to describe the project, it's 233 residential units, 15% are reserved as affordable, 5% are reserved as 3-bedroom units, and of course this is an empty lot, so there's no housing there now. The conditions that have been proposed, both in the 5B resolution and in our resolution, is securing further community input on final design, especially on street drop-off location, whether that's on Monroe or on 9th Street, which will have transportation impacts in both 5B and 5F. Retaining live-work units that they proposed, except for setting aside ground floor space for ground floor retail to help activate the neighborhood, more eyes on the street, more opportunity for small business success. Does allow the developer to revert it after good efforts are exercised for a period of time to try to use the space as for retail. And then community engagement on the construction plan to minimize the negative impacts associated with construction. There are affected neighbors, and there is a template of an agreement on construction that 5B is drawing from, and so it's encouraging that be included, and request that the zoning commission record grade rating. So 5B, I talked to Commissioner Sun in 5B, who asked if we could, given our close proximity to this project, weigh in and reinforce what they're doing so that the zoning commission is hearing out two affected ANCs. I think the Civic Association filed to oppose. There's some dispute about whether the vote on that was proper or not, but so they're asking for party status also, and I think some 200-footers are filing to approach too. So it's not a slam dunk of a case, and our input may be very impactful. Let me pause there and turn it over to my co-sponsors for anything that might come.
Go ahead, Commissioner Stein.
First off, thank you to Bishop Henchman for kind of keeping this moving along on the ANC5F side. As the commissioner who shares the border closest to this part of 5B, we've recently had some churn there, right? We've thankfully got the Trader Joe's in Edgewood, which is very exciting. I've gone a few times. Everyone's it appears to be doing well. But we also have lost some businesses along that border, including the Barnes & Noble in Commissioner Jones's district, as well as the Brooklyn Punch. So with all that churn, it becomes important that we build up density in this area so we can continue to keep that business driver for both the existing entities and amenities neighbors want and enjoy. So I'm looking forward to any opportunity we have to welcome more neighbors to that corner of our district, and just these borders are political, but people move around from one side to another. It's not it's not just you're 20 foot a couple feet away, so you should not have anything. So it's an interconnect network, and that's all I want to kind of on for why we should be continuing to see party status here.
Commissioner Jones?
I echo Commissioner Sani's sentiments and agree with Commissioner Bishop. This is something that I just really wanted to support, and I think community development will be better than a vacant lot, and I'm looking forward to the potential.
Are there any other commissioners that would like to add anything? Commissioner Anderson?
I just have a quick question on the resolution text. I think the first clause mentioned the word alley. Is that in reference to the same alley? Commissioner?
Different.
It's a different alley. Okay, got it. That was my question.
Okay.
Thought I always did.
Yeah.
All right. Are there any other questions or comments on this resolution? Seeing none from commissioners.
I move that we adopt the resolution.
All right, Commissioner Bishop Henchman moves to adopt the resolution. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Sani. We'll go to a roll call vote. Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Sani,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams.
Keep your side left.
Okay. Commissioner Williams is not present. Commissioner Galvan, I vote aye. Commissioner Anderson,
Aye.
Commissioner Bishop Henchman,
Aye.
and Commissioner Zenjon.
They do not see.
All right, you guys are the chair.
Really,
Commissioner Williams? Nope. As the chair, we have a 5 to 0. So the motion resolution passes. Thank you, Commissioner Bishop Henchman, for your time. We'll move along to the next item on the action agenda, which this was moved for the resolution on moped and ATV regulation, which is the one that I sponsored after it had passed the commission, after it passed the Public Safety and Health Committee with a unanimous vote.
I pulled
And
it
then-
mainly because you've got a.
Okay, yes. So there were some minor changes in the resolution that were requested to take another look at by another commissioner, and essentially to try to not necessarily target this resolution against a particular group of people, especially I think considering where we are today and kind of the concerns against other people who are being targeted. And so I made some adjustments in the language. It's actually marked up on the website. You can see that. Basically, made the changes that, moped usage has increased as an inexpensive transport option due to the easy access and low barrier for purchase, as well as lax verification process for food delivery companies, instead of calling out, specific groups and community members who may use that regularly, so that we're not targeting specific people. And then there was a minor change with regards to mopeds. So making sure that mopeds themselves, which are motorized, vehicles, are not utilized in spaces that are typically used for pedestrians and cyclists. For example, on the Metropolitan Ranch Trail, a lot of folks are walking, and those vehicles can go 30 plus miles an hour. And I know some electric bikes can do that, but by and large, a several hundred-pound vehicle could really injure people. So I want to make that clarification. So thanks for bringing that attention, and I wanted to see if that met the mark for other commissioners, or if there were any questions or concerns regarding that. No, and I appreciate, again, commissioners for their feedback and their support, Commissioner Bishop Henchman, as well as the Committee on Public Safety and Health for doing the bulk, Chair Aaron Price, of the research and public health engagement on this effort. So thank you, Chair Aaron Price.
So procedurally, we should adopt the amendments.
Yep.
And then consider the.
Got it. So I'll move to adopt the amendments as they are drafted on this resolution. You have a second?
Second.
Do we have any objections? All right, let's do this by voice vote. In all favor of the amendments to the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All in favor, say nay. Hearing none, seeing none. All right, those amendments have been accepted, and then I'll move this to a vote to adopt the resolution as amended. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Bishop Hensman. We'll go to a roll call vote. Commissioner Jones.
Aye.
Commissioner Sani.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams. Still not present? No, Commissioner Williams is not present. Commissioner Galvin, I vote aye. Commissioner Commissioner Anderson.
Aye.
And Commissioner Bishop Henchman.
Aye.
And Commissioner Zen John still is not present. Okay. On the ayes of the chair, we have a 5-0 to 0. The resolution passes. Thank you all for your help and input on this resolution. Moving right along, we'll go into action agenda. There was one other item. This is the resolution authorizing, in this case, a settlement agreement with Abra 132427. This is Namubu LLC, which is 202 Florida Avenue. This is the Alero that is moving. It seems potentially moving or reopening a location at 202 Florida Avenue. I'll let Commissioner Bishop Henchman talk about that.
Yes, thank you. So I haven't been to the Alero on U Street, but I hear it's a very nice restaurant. They're closing the U Street one at the same time they're opening this one. So this will be a full-service restaurant with capacity for 114 people. And they've asked for a live entertainment endorsement, a summer garden endorsement, a sidewalk cafe. They checked every box. So the applicant has been wonderful to work with. They presented to our alcohol committee, and then we've been exchanging emails over the past couple of weeks as we narrowed down on a settlement agreement. Obviously, the issues that jumped out to me, as well as the alcohol committee and to residents, were the scope of hours of exterior operation, as well as the normal issues that we're always concerned about: noise, trash, loitering, and so forth. So we've come up with a draft settlement agreement. I emailed it out earlier. Commissioners, you have paper copies in front of you. I won't read it all out, but our starting point was our settlement agreement template for retail establishments. So the hours proposed: 2 a.m. Sunday, Thursday, 3 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays, but no exterior consumption of alcoholic beverages after 10 p.m. Sunday, Thursday, or midnight Fridays and Saturdays. That's kind of where we seem to have ended up on a lot of settlement agreements. So that was really important for us to put in there, and I'm very grateful that the applicant went along with that, because originally it was much later.
Yes.
As well as refraining from sale of to-go beverages to intoxicated individuals. That's very good not to do. Using reasonable efforts to discourage customers from blocking the sidewalk in front of the establishment or consuming alcohol purchased from the establishment directly in front of the establishment. That the wording maybe is a little different, but it's the same type of thing we've been trying to get into a lot of other settlement agreements. I'm very glad that that's in there. Preventing noise, vibrations, amplified sounds from being heard in residences from after 11 p.m. And that's already in existing DC law, but this settlement agreement specifies the actions that the licensee should take if that's happening. And so that's very good. Removing litter on the abutting sidewalk, making sure that trash and food waste and recycling are kept in rat-proof containers, as well as making a copy of this agreement available on request. So the applicant has reviewed all of these terms and finds them acceptable. I'm very excited what we've negotiated here, and hopefully we won't have too many changes, because I don't know if we can do them. And just a reminder, the protest deadline on this is not in front of me. End of this month, I think. So if we don't resolve this today, we will need to do a special meeting. But I think it's in a good place. I do apologize. It did kind of come down to the wire. Such, that is kind of how negotiation goes. I wasn't dilly-dallying. We really did finally resolve it this afternoon. So let me pause there and happy to answer any questions.
Okay, yes, Commissioner Anderson?
Just to share the information, petition deadline is indeed June 30th.
Soon.
And then my question was regarding their hours of operation. I know a lot of applicants essentially have like extended hours of application on their permit beyond when they're actually intending on operating, but was just curious about the 9 a.m. start. Is that when they're intending on operating, or is it more, are they planning on doing a breakfast service, or is it more kind of a lunch and starting at 11? Just was curious in your conversations if you had any insight.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer. I don't know whether they may be on the call. If they are, they can raise their hand and answer that. But that's what they placarded.
Yeah, I saw
9
the
a.m.
placard. Yeah,
Our settlement agreement, I don't think
I think
we especially care about opening hours.
Yeah.
So it's not in there.
Yeah. Just was curious. The applicant is online. Would love to know. I mean, again, I know that most applicants do the start time earlier, just in case of any. Just curious if the 9 a.m. start was. I did look on the placard. It is 9 a.m. 2 a.m.
Maybe it's some breakfast stuff.
I'll carry out at 9 a.m. Let's go.
But I mean, it is a full service restaurant. So
Yes,
it's not
yeah,
just-
absolutely.
yeah.
Just was curious.
I don't see.
I also wanted to note, well, I guess I have to move this. Hold on, consent on the action agenda. The resolution as drafted authorized either protest or settlement agreement. So it's like a nonsensical resolution. You can read it all. So there's some strikeouts that I want to do. So I will move the following strikeouts. So in the title, striking out protest or, so it reads resolution authorizing settlement agreement with, etc. And then striking the first two resolved clauses. So it picks up with the third result, what is originally the third result clause that ANC 5F approves the attached settlement agreement. The version you have on paper in front of you reflects those strikeouts. So I think I'll make it.
Got it. Great. Are there second to that? Second by Commissioner Sunny. Are there any objections? Hearing none, we'll just do a quick voice vote for amending the strikeouts to make this a resolution on settlement agreement, not a protest. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All in favor, all not in favor, say nay. Hearing none, as the chair, those changes have been made. Go ahead.
And I just want to thank Ms. Coughlin in particular, who was very helpful in this process. It's good to have committees, chairs helpful. Move to adopt the resolution and the draft settlement agreement as amended.
Okay, great. Seconded by Commissioner Sani. We will go to a voice, not a voice, sorry. We'll go to a roll call vote here. Commissioner Jones. Commissioner Sani.
Aye.
Commissioner Williams. I think I just got an email from Commissioner Williams that the internet kicked her out, so she will not be joining. Commissioner Galvan is aye. Commissioner Anderson.
Aye.
Commissioner Bishop Lynchman.
Aye.
Thank you. And Commissioner Sanjay is still not present. Okay. Yeah, as the chair, the resolution on the settlement agreement is passed. Thank you, Commissioner Bishop Henchman, for your work and negotiating, and Chair Coughlin on yours as well. All right. Let's see if there's any other items on the action agenda. I do not believe there is. So we will move along to the other reports or presentations. In this meeting, we'll be moving on to the 10-minute presentation by Noma Bid on the proposed art for Mamie Peanut Johnson Plaza, the new old, try to say the old Dave Thomas Circle.
So
All right,
Mr. Brian Smith.
Yes,
is on.
Mr. Brian Smith.
When we do that, should we also, it looks like we have a representative from Councilmember Parker's office with us, so Connor Shaw is standing in for Oliver Stout. Should we?
I move to amend the agenda to move to Ward 5 Office Council Member report.
Okay. Are there any objections to amending the agenda? I'm gonna say all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nope. We will amend the agenda. And Mr. Shaw, you are recognized. Thanks for joining. You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Wonderful.
You need-
Can you hear me?
Yes. Is that enough time for you?
That's wonderful. Thank you for your flexibility tonight. I'm filling in for Oliver. It is his birthday, so if you have a moment to send him a note, you're welcome to do that. We are in the thick of budget season, as folks know. Committees at the council are due to propose changes to the budget submitted by the mayor next week. And Councilmember Parker, as chair of the Youth Affairs Committee, is responsible for proposing changes in particular to our juvenile justice system and also to our Child and Family Services Agency. We're, of course, also looking to advance ward priorities. I'm sure folks saw that funds for the Edgewood Eckington Library and for Harry Thomas Rec Center remain in the budget, which is good news. I don't expect that to change. Some other priorities of note for ANC 5F include that we have escalated or elevated the request for MBT repairs under New York Avenue. I'm sure folks have seen whenever it rains, it floods there, and we appreciate the commission's advocacy for that particular improvement as well. I'm cautiously optimistic that that will end up in the budget report for the Transportation and Environment Committee, but we'll see the final text next week. Some other things that we're working on. The mayor has proposed, and Councilmember Nadeau's committee is taking up essentially a clean corridors initiative. This would be something led by DPW to do more proactive litter abatement in parts of the city that don't already have it. And that is something of interest, obviously, across Ward 5. We're going to be working with her to see if we can ensure that it covers, known problem areas where we get a lot of 311 requests, and perhaps also public spaces and areas that have day or night shelters where we see some quality of life issues. I'm happy to answer any questions that folks have about the budget, so we can leave a little time for that. Yeah, so I'll stop there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shaw. Questions from commissioners? Commissioner Sani.
Thank you for that presentation, Connor. For the Clean Corridors Initiative, I appreciate the looking at 311 data for that, but is there a way for us as commissioners to put other places on your list so you can prioritize and figure out what should be submitted to DPW for a sense of right sizing this, or is there not the right time for that right now?
What would be most helpful now is to engage with Councilmember Nadeau's committee about the types of areas in the city that we would like to prioritize. They're thinking about this at the programmatic level, and how this should complement existing services. We know obviously that parts of the city that have business improvement districts, including the portion of Eckington that falls within the NOMA bid, actually receive pretty high quality litter abatement, which is great. Other parts of the city obviously don't. And so I think that's something they're taking a close look at.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions from commissioners? We'll also open this up to members of the public if you wish to ask Mr. Shaw any questions. Seeing none, hearing none. It's been a quiet night, Connor. So
That tends to happen in the summer.
yeah. Well, thanks so much for your time and for joining.
Absolutely.
Great.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along, we will go to other reports and presentations. This is the 10-minute presentation by Noma Bid on the proposed art for Mamie Peanut Johnson Plaza. Who's the individual again?
Brian Smith.
Brian Smith with
Oh, my bad.
Noma Bid. So Brian, welcome. We're gonna make you co-host here shortly, and let me know if you can see us.
And the presentation's linked from the agenda, so people.
Yes, so yeah, you don't necessarily need to share, but you can if you'd like. Folks can also find the presentation on our agenda links.
Thank you so much. I will share. We added an additional slide to provide a little bit more information about the artwork. So I will
Okay,
share.
great.
I updated that one already, so.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Up to date.
Yeah, and you have permission to share, so you can go ahead and go through that process. Thank you.
Thank you so much, commissioners, and thank you for the opportunity to be before you this evening. I'm Brian Smith. I'm the Director of Planning and Economic Development for the Noma Bid. And we are here seeking a letter of support from the ANC for our grant submission through the Public Building Art and Building Communities Program through the DC Commission for Arts and Humanities. Before I continue, I just want to check and make sure that you guys can see the presentation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you.
Perfect. Perfect. So I'll start talking just a little bit about the grant itself. The Public Art Building Communities Grant, again, is through the DC Commission on Arts and Humanities. The bid actually did receive this grant a long time ago, almost 20 years ago, back in 2008 for Torque Tensility, which you can see here is at the intersection of First Street and M Street, just across the street from the Harris Teeter. The award was made in 2008, but I believe the artwork was installed sometime around 2013 or 2014. So it's been a while for the bid. It's a really highly competitive grant. The commission really only makes one grant to a bid per grant year. And so we're, up against other bids who are, again, competing for this grant. So we feel really good about our submission this year. Can't wait to share it with you. The grant was released, as always, it's a relatively tight timeline between the submission, between when the grant is released and the submission date. The grant was released this year in March. And we have worked to pull together a wonderful grant application, and that submission deadline is July 21st. So really looking forward to sharing this with you. Once we submit, the award decision is anticipated sometime in October. And if we were awarded the grant, the artwork would be installed sometime in FY26, so sometime next year. So just a little bit about the space. Again, I know many of you are familiar with the space. Mamie Peanut Johnson Plaza is, it's a partnership between DDOT and Noma and Parks Foundation, but as Commissioner Hinchman mentioned, it really had a lot of input from Eckington Parks and Arts, the Eckington Civic Association, and other neighborhood groups really provided a lot of input that led to the very intentional and thoughtful design of these three spaces. It was designed to better connect Noma, Eckington, Union Market, and the surrounding neighborhoods, and really intended to be a space that people could really come to and not just go through. And not just a space that worked for cars, but a space that really worked for pedestrians, bikers, and visitors. So as Commissioner Bishop Hinchman mentioned, it was delivered earlier this month. We had a ribbon cutting on June 2nd for the space. There's a few touch-ups, primarily in the area around where the playground is, so in what we call Parcel 3. But more or less, it's delivered and ready to go. And some of you may also know that the bid led a community-driven engagement to allow the public to really name the space. Again, it was known sort of colloquially as Dave Thomas Circle, but we wanted to give it a really intentional name. And the community, sent in over 1,200 submissions of names and ultimately chose to honor Mamie Peanut Johnson which I'll talk about in just a moment. We had over 4,000 votes, and 40% of the people voted for this name. So we're really proud of being able to honor Mamie Peanut Johnson with the plaza and hopefully with this art. So again, I'll go quickly about Mamie Peanut Johnson. She was a DC resident, a longtime DC resident. Her really big claim to fame is that she was one of only 3 women to play in the Negro Leagues, and she was the only pitcher. She had a very impactful career with the Indianapolis Clowns from 1953 to 1955. She's very famous for her curveball, as you can see in the top photo, and that curveball will come into play in the design. After she left baseball, she had a very long career here in DC. She was a nurse at Sibley Hospital for 30 years until her death in 2017. So again, that also will come into the design. So I'll go quickly through the artwork goals. The goal was to really create a visually compelling sense of arrival in Sonoma, Egginton, Union Market, and Washington, D.C. It's still one of the busiest intersections in the district. And so we wanted this to really have a really strong sense of arrival. We wanted to foster a strong sense of excitement and community of pride in the work. Again, sort of reflecting also the community's pride in something to honor Peanut Johnson, to celebrate the diversity of the DMV artist community, which we'll talk about. We wanted to contribute to the Extraordinary Bank of Public Artworks in DC, which was one of the goals of the actual grant makers from the grant funders. And lastly, we wanted to create a significant sculpture that is also a wayfinding marker for the neighborhood and a gateway into the city. We'll look at that in just a moment. So the location within the 3 spaces that we're suggesting is here in parcel 1. It's the area that is closest to the People's building. You can see in this location that the space was sort of sited for public art, and so it has really good vistas from Florida Avenue, Eckington Place, First Street, and New York Avenue. Yeah, again, sort of to see kind of some real pictures of the space. You can see the before picture with the Wendy's in the center, and then the after picture, which we took just last week. So the proposed artwork location is in that sort of most westerly parcel, again, adjacent to the People's Building. So I want to talk a little bit about the artist that we selected. The artist is Rania Hassan, again, a local artist. She lives actually in the neighborhood in nearby Bloomingdale. You may know Rania's work here at 17th and Connecticut and K Street. This piece, Marker, is really sort of beloved by the neighborhood, by Golden Triangle, and it really pretty much is a marker. It really is a piece that stands out and really is sort of a direction space for people in that area. It also has a lot of meaning. A lot of Rania's work really honors women. And so we thought she was a wonderful artist to install and design the work for Peanut Plaza. So now I'll talk about the design itself. And again, we're really proud of the design that Rania has put together. So the piece is called Curve. And as I mentioned before, Mamie Peanut Johnson was very famous for her curveball. And so the work really, you can see sort of how it has a lot of movement, a lot of curve, and is meant to be an homage to her famous curveball. As you sort of go around the space and approach the work from different vantage points, you can see that your experience of the work changes as you move around the piece. Again, sort of again mimicking in some way, but also honoring her very famous curveball. It also is red, which signifies both the color that was part of her Indianapolis Clowns uniform, as well as her work at Sibley Hospital. So looking again at the design inspiration, the curve is really very much connected to the curve of the baseball. So you can see the stitching is very similar both in the baseball and the piece. You can also see as you sort of zoom in that the stitching is also very much related to her nursing career and the international symbol of nursing. So a lot of touch points, a lot of ways that this piece honors Peanut Johnson's legacy, and we think it's a wonderful wayfinding piece for Peanut Plaza. So I'll talk really quickly because I've got a few more minutes on community engagement. So we really listened to this committee. We presented last year, and I think it was very important to the committee to find additional ways for community engagement. And so we had a wonderful engagement at the Peanut Johnson Plaza ribbon cutting earlier in this month. We've gotten about 75 or 80 signatures so far in support. Again, we continue to get input from the Noma Farmers Market. We're engaging at Cinematic up in Eckington at Tanner Park. And the great thing about this piece is that it's not just about the artwork. There's a lot of opportunities for additional storytelling and connection. So we plan to consult with Eckington Parks and Arts and the Civic Association to garner some additional outreach opportunities. Again, there's a lot to tell about Mamie Peanut Johnson's story, and we want to make sure that we sort of get that message out there. Other opportunities include with the Rosedale Community Center, which has a baseball field named after her. Local schools, Dunbar, McKinley Tech, and Two Rivers. Mamie Johnson also has a very successful Little League team here in DC that's named after her. So we plan to engage with that team and as well as Sibley Hospital. I have one last slide. I heard the ding.
Go ahead.
And lastly, I just wanted to share some of the wonderful comments we've received from the public. Looks great, appreciate it, so cool. So we're really appreciate the commissioners pushing us to expand our engagement. And again, we're looking forward to continuing to engage the public with this artwork. Again, we're really proud of it. We think we have a strong chance this year and would love your support.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Smith. Sorry, were you going to say something at the end there? Apologies for interrupting you.
No, just thank you.
Yeah, okay. So just wanted to see if there were any questions from commissioners. Yes, Commissioner Sani.
I guess two questions. One question is for Commissioner Benjamin. Will this be coming before the commission for a vote of support?
Not tonight.
Not tonight? Okay. But Mr. Smith, thank you for that. I was one of the commissioners who, when you presented last year, was like requesting maybe a little more outreach, and very appreciative of the fact that you and the demo bid went out and did the work. Also, I don't think the mock-ups were quite where they were today, and I just want to say it's like a very impressive statue. I like the symbolism, and look forward to seeing what the commission can do to help get this grant supportable.
Great.
Thank you.
Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. I was also one of the commissioners who had requested additional community outreach, so I really appreciate you all doing that. And I also appreciate, because I was looking at designs from the last time in the presentations, I really love how you added kind of additional context and kind of how the artwork is connected a little bit more to the story, and adding that context and adding how that can be more part of the storytelling. And kind of have a more direct connection to the homage. I think that was really lovely, and thank you for taking the time to do that additional explanation.
Thank you, and appreciate your feedback from last year.
Any other commissioners? I'll take some time to recognize myself. No, thank you, Mr. Smith. I'm a big fan of both the woman and the name of the plaza, so I'm really excited to see that and to honor kind of baseball. I'm a big baseball fan as well. It's a very cool kind of integration of both baseball and public health, and so I think that's really great. Great space to do that in, especially in a new park area. I use the park frequently, so it's nice to see it come to fruition, and just need to get the trees watered a little bit more. But besides that, thank you very much for your time, and we wish you the best of luck, and you may hear from us soon.
Thank you.
All right, great. You have a wonderful evening. Actually, I just realized I did not give members of the public an opportunity if they had questions or comments to provide. Is there anyone online or in person who would like to mention anything? No, you got thumbs up over here, Mr. Smith. So
Great.
wonderful. All right. Well, then we'll adjourn. Thank you very much.
Are we I'm sorry, are we able to sort of get a letter of support for this work? Or is there anything?
So yeah, Commissioner Bishop Henchman recommends reaching out. There may be a full letter of support from the commission usually requires some notice to the public for about 7 days. We have to do a special meeting for that. There may be opportunities for individual commissioners to sign on to a letter of support. That could be an option. But Commissioner Bishop Henchman will, if you reach out to him, he can talk to you about specific options for support by the commission.
Okay, fantastic.
Sound good? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate your input.
All right. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Now that we've finished with other reports or presentations, we will move to committee and task force updates. Ms. Coughlin, let's see if she's
Sweet.
She's online.
she's online now, so it's 2 in the morning. You're a dedicated public servant. Ms. Coughlin. Go ahead, you're recognized.
Yeah, I'm here, unfortunately. Hi, I'm also in Sweden right now, so it's very late, but I can't. Anyways, so hello. I'm here for representing Alcohol and Cannabis License Committee. We met on the 4th of June. We reviewed the one Class C retailer application that we already talked about with Alero. There is nothing else going or brewing in the ACLC sphere, and I think we are good to go. The only thing is we talked about as a committee, there's an ANC 5F potential participation in a moratorium around medical cannabis retailers in Ward 5. Most of this is around a large number of cannabis establishments up and down the North Capitol and Florida Avenue corridor. But so this is something that is kind of ongoing. If there is community feedback, we'd love to hear it. Other than that, there's nothing else going on for our committee, and I will yield my time to other people.
Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Coughlin. Any questions or items from commissioners? Great. Thank you, Ms. Coughlin. Get some rest. Have a great time. Moving to the Committee on Public Safety and Health, Chair Aaron Price.
Yes, good evening, commissioners and neighbors. My name is Daniel Aaron Price. I am the chair of ANC 5F's Public Safety and Health Committee. Lots going on within our Public Safety and Health Committee, starting with community engagement. So we've been doing a lot of tabling at some of the NOMA bid events recently. So if you haven't checked out Sunset Sounds or Cinematic, go check it out at Alethea Tanner Park. And if you haven't checked it out because of rain, same. So look forward to some of the future reschedulings, which are coming up, and keep note on their Instagram and their website. But we'll be there. So come and say hi. We love to see friendly faces. We also need help tabling. So if anybody's interested in tabling, especially for commissioners, please reach out. I know that NOMA bid is closing out Sunset Sounds and Cinematic by like the end of the month, but we got approval to be tabling at the farmers market, and that's going to go up until the end of October. So we're definitely in need of some help there. So just reach out. Any dates? Again, that's every Thursday up until October 30th. So just let me know if you're able to come and join. Next is public safety. So Lots of resolutions on the table regarding public safety for us. So one, thank you to everyone for your assistance with the moped and ATV resolution. Appreciate all of the adjustments, appreciate all the notes, and appreciate the TAPS committee especially for helping our public safety and health committee out with a lot of the kind of fine tuning of the resolution. So thank you for that. And thank you to Commissioner Galvan for quickly jumping on the resolution on Janine Pirro and getting a hearing in the books, especially. That's very important around this time. And for our friends at ANC 1B that provided us with the resolution language as well. Update for everyone on the gun violence reduction resolution. So there are now 7 ANCs that have passed this resolution. The most recent was ANC 2G, which passed it unanimously on June 13th. So looking for more. While I was sitting here, I sent out more to all of the ANCs in Ward 4. So hopefully we'll get some more. That will take it on. The next couple of resolutions on our docket related to public safety is a resolution on ICE in schools and sensitive spaces, which was provided to us by a community member. They worked with a Ward 3 group in order to create the resolution language, and we fine-tuned it. Our committee is currently reviewing it, and we'll be putting it up for a vote at our next committee meeting, which is next Thursday. So looking forward to providing that to you all for a vote in July. And the other resolution on the docket is one on substance use disorder. There is a piece of legislation within DC Council that is up for consideration right now, of course on pause because of budget season, but it's related to substance use disorder. So we're going to review that piece of legislation, see if we can come up with a support resolution or even like a, expand or substantiate that legislation as well. So we'll take a look at that for public safety. Public health, I know we had a lot of neighbors at the last meeting talk about rat abatement especially and came up with some language around that. I still haven't received any of the email language that they sent over. So if any commissioner has that language, I would love to take a look at that to see if we can craft some resolution language around rat abatement in particular. So that's public health. I know Commissioner Zenjon isn't on right now, but I'm still trying to schedule some time with her to discuss talking with McKinley Tech's principal about the area between Harry Thomas and McKinley Tech, which gets kind of filled with litter at times, and DPR not picking up trash in a timely manner in that location. So hopefully a resolution will be upcoming in regards to that specific area. And then the last couple things is our next committee meeting was rescheduled since Juneteenth is this Thursday. Go out and celebrate. There's a whole bunch of events happening throughout the city. This next committee meeting will be on Thursday, June 26th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. If you want to come in person, I welcome it. We'll be in the room we're at right now, which is the Eckington Community Room, or we also offer a virtual option, which you can find the Zoom link on our website. I always leave with a tip. My biggest tip is stay attuned to the budget season. We have a committee on the whole public hearing tomorrow at 10:30 a.m., which I think wraps up everything. So just stay attuned to what's going on with the budget, keep advocating, and submit testimony whenever you can. And that's all I got.
Great. Thank you so much, Chair Aaron Price. Appreciate the substantive updates. Any questions from commissioners?
Did you know that the mayor's budget proposes that our current youth curfew during the summer, he wants to change it to apply up to 17. Right now, I think it must be 16 if it's an expansion. But some other things, but relevant for our purposes, to create a new power for ANCs, to authorize ANCs to petition the chief of police to establish an even more extended juvenile curfew to begin even at 7 p.m. if we were so inclined. And I raise this not because I want to share an opinion on it. I do have an opinion, but I'm not going to share it. But the council will be deciding whether ANCs should have this power or not. And I'm not at all worried about our commission, what we might do with this weird power. But maybe some other commissions in the city it might be an issue. So FYI to anybody listening, this is something the council in front of them. If you have an opinion to work on, maybe you should make it heard.
Appreciate that. I have a lot of opinions on that myself too. So yep.
What is the current curfew?
I'm not sure.
I believe it's midnight. And 16 and under.
And they could impose earlier curfews, if that's correct.
Yeah, and so, Commissioner Bishop mentioned what he was referring to is they're also now saying 11 p.m. for 17 and under, and then the ability to request 7 p.m. onwards for these special areas. It's petitioned by ANC, so other community organizations. But yeah.
Interesting. Keep us posted. I'll keep an eye on that.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions from commissioners or members of the public? Yes, Commissioner Anderson.
Just comment. Thank you for your work. Hard work as always. Looking forward to seeing the ICE resolution come through. And then I guess just more of a question regarding public outreach. Any comments that have come up in that outreach? Anything on the community's mind that you found during that outreach?
Yeah, so when we are tabling, all individuals that have tabled get to ask all community members 2 questions as like a very basic needs assessment. So first they ask them, what's your favorite thing about the neighborhood? And the second is, what are things that you want to see more or less of in the neighborhood? And at this last round, since we last met, it's a lot of the same things. They love the accessibility of the neighborhood, especially the MBT as a conduit to getting back and forth in their commutes. They very much enjoy all of the events that they have, especially hosted by Noma Bid, since it's such a centralized location. They want to see more in the Edgewood neighborhood, especially too, because Noma Bid is doing a lot within Alethea Tanner Park, but we want to make sure that all of our neighbors, especially in their upper areas of ANC 5F, see some of that as well. And funny enough, public safety, although a few members of the community have talked to safety on the trail, especially related to some of the snatches of earbuds and of music listening devices, many of them feel safe overall inside of the community, and they're happy with the resolutions that we've been putting forth. Even if they didn't know about it and then became educated about it, they're excited to see more come forth. So that's a lot of what I've been hearing, but accessibility has been a lot of the big things discussed.
Great. Thank you.
Oh, and then quick additional question is any update on work with block captains?
Yes,
I'm
and
still looking for more.
I'm always looking for more block captains, and if anybody here is listening and interested in being a block captain, if you go to our website and click on the committees tab, at the top there's a Google form you can fill out to be a block captain. I need to make sure that list is updated because I would love to send them information. But we have flyers that we've been passing out, especially when we're tabling, and I would love more block captains to be able to do so. I could always use more flyers, so that would be great.
All right. Any questions from the public? Yes. Oh, can you say who you are and for the record?
Yeah, my name is Posey Oshinoa. I live on 3rd and C.
Great.
So, question about the moped resolution. What exactly are they doing in terms of additional regulations for that?
So within the moped resolution, which was just passed, there were kind of 2 different components regarding that. So one was ensuring that there's moped safety, and we passed many resolutions about moped safety, especially along the MBT, because we've seen a lot of activity on there, even though it's not allowed to be on there. But just ensuring that they are following road protocol and that there's more registration that's required for mopeds. So there's regulation on the registration side, but then there's also regulation on the pollution side as well, which we wanted to cover. We already get enough pollution from the asphalt plant that's in our area, so ensuring that we can reduce that in any measure and impose any sort of limitation or try to is important for the health and well-being of everyone. So it's a multi-component, but the resolution language is all up to date. If anybody has any other that you'd like to add.
It's us asking the council to do
Yes.
something, so it's not enacting.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is like not legislating for all of DC, but it's like, this is what we recommend, or this is what we would want you to do, so.
Do we know if the city has any, the district has any definitions of how they're categorizing what's a moped, what the e-bikes are?
Yeah, it's based on the CC of it, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Is it 50 or is it
It's
25?
above. I believe it's above 50.
I think it's above 50 is categorized as a moped technically, and there's some that skirt around it and get to that like 49 cc mark. That's still relatively fast, but mopeds are now becoming a bigger thing, so we need to be able to tackle like how are we able to regulate to ensure the safety of everybody on the road. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 50 cc.
Yeah, and it's I'll just mention it's similar to, there was a big ban several years ago about powered leaf blowers and lawnmowers and whatnot, and those aren't really regulated in terms of like what they pollute. So a lot, not only are they super loud, obviously, but there is some really noxious fumes that come from that and that's similar to these mopeds essentially, and that's what adds to a lot of the pollution in the area. But every time one passes, I can notice the smell lingers for a while, and that's because they're not regulated in the same way we have carburetors and mufflers on other vehicles of larger sizes. So some of this resolution includes using regulations from the California Air Resources Board to basically limit and actually install some things on those systems so that they don't pollute as well as they do and regulate that a little bit.
And we utilize research in all of our resolutions, so the evidence behind it is a lot established within like Sweden and a lot of the like more Nordic countries in particular. So we've used some of that, some of the California board.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure thing. Yes, Commissioner Stein.
One question I'm relaying from Ms. Kaufman, who is in Sweden, so I don't want to put on the phone again because no one needs to be on at 2 a.m. How do you register complaints around moped use for our ANC?
It's a great question. I don't know if I necessarily have that answer behind how you can notify, but I'm guessing it's the typical like notification systems, right? So like, what would you do if a car was not following road directions? I would guess it's MPD for now, right?
Yeah. So I know MPD is going through. In some cases, they have literally taken and impounded moped vehicles. I think recently I saw a large truck with like 20 or 30 mopeds on top of it, and then it was escorted by like 4 police cruisers for some reason. That sounded like it was being impounded from some. So MPD is doing something, but I don't know that reporting method, if that's through 311 or whatnot. We as an ANC did bring it up in front of, this was, I don't know, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, in front of the DMV, the director of the DMV in DC. And they had stated that they were working on doing additional enforcement regulations, but it's exploding. The amount of use is significant. So don't have a good answer for you, Ms. Coughlin, besides maybe email your commissioner, which would be me, and then I can follow up. Yeah. So. All right. Any other questions, comments? Going once? And twice. All right. Thank you, Chair Aaron Price. Really appreciate it. All right. Moving along, we will go to the Transportation and Public Spaces Committee Chair Sani.
Yeah, our TAPS meeting continued the ANC 5F trend of supporting ANC 5B in some of these cross-border concerns. Specifically, we discussed a resolution on the Franklin Street Bridge, connector between our 2 ANCs quite regularly, and an important piece of infrastructure with the Reed Street development, which is where there's now the giant raised parking area across from the Stone and Straw Building and Tastemakers on the south side of Franklin Street. Because it's been raised and the development has been canceled, there's not a lot of use of that area, so the ANC 5B is requesting to use that as an opportunity, strategic improvements to enhance safety of the bike lane, which turn into paint once you exit the bridge and onto the east side of Franklin Street. So we supported that, as well as some strategic safety improvements for the intersection around Noyes Elementary over there, which is a school that residents of the ANC 5F attend. Additionally, we added some ANC 5F flavor and requested some intersection improvements on the west side. All of the curbs, the dangerous driving we see there, make sure we have curb cuts that are accessible and try and improve pedestrian safety around that corridor. So thank you to my fellow ANC 5 commissioners for unanimously approving that resolution. ANC 5B will also be pleased about that. We also took on an investigation to see if we were losing any bus shelters with the new Better Bus network. We are losing or stops being reprovisioned, but We wanted to make sure, given the finite number of bus shelters that the city is allowed to have, that we are not going to have a net loss of them. And so one of our members, Nick Frazier, thank you to him, stepped up and like looked at all of the bus stops that were being removed and cross-referenced them against what was already up there and determined the number being lost. So thank you again. And then we also discussed with the removal of some of these bus stops to see if there was a way to work with the community on getting parklets installed where like former bus stops used to be. It's a little more challenging, it seems, where it's a little more research, ultimately be a bid or some commercial entity to be on the hook with VDOT to support and maintain such a space. So if you do know of such a business that could be interested or an organization, it might be a cool opportunity to kind of repurpose some of these places that are not yet parking to make it more of a community space. Our next meeting will be the first week of July. If it's 4th of July weekend, we might, or 4th of July, we might shift it around, but I don't have my calendar in front of me. But yeah, that is it. Thanks.
Great. Thank you very much, Commissioner Sani. Any questions from commissioners? Yes, Commissioner Benjamin.
Did you know that on Sunday, September 28th in Alethea Tanner Park, we'll have DC Family Bike Fest? And we just got the permit approved for it, so it's on.
Okay.
And then I was wondering whether TAPS is planning on doing anything on North Cap or on Lincoln Road, since VDOT has active projects on both. It's fine if the answer is no, since, Commissioner Galvan maybe chasing North Cap, Commissioner Centron maybe chasing Lincoln Road. Well, half the commissioners, for the reason I'm just wondering if you guys have in the works on that.
I think generally we're trying to take a perspective of until there's an NOI and a design, like our engagement is not going to be, VDOT works in a very specific way, and generally they'll take suggestions they may or may not consider, but ultimately for what can be a best investment of commission time would be in drafting a resolution of support, either fully or conditionally or in opposition to various changes once they get to that stage of design. Because a lot of it comes down to the nitty-gritty on design, on what you propose for this intersection doesn't make sense with this traffic pattern and that level of detail, which they usually don't have this early in the process. That being said, we do encourage our committee members to attend these public meetings if they want to be participating in that, just like I'm sure there'll be some folks at the open house for Lincoln Road on Saturday.
I may send a letter to VDOT on Lincoln Road asking that, since they're presenting options, that one of those options be a one-way option that preserves parking, one-way southbound option that preserves parking, and or including a closure of the very foot of Lincoln Road to through traffic. Not saying that's what we want, but saying if you at least review that as an option, and if you like it, forward it on to what you present in the NOI. If you don't like it, it's what you want. And that'll just be for me. But if anybody is interested in attaching themselves to that, let me bridge on there.
I want to cut you off. But my understanding is that on the Saturday open house, they will have some early designs on what a one-way conversion could look like. But that might be
I want to maybe get it in before then if they're not going to have that. Because we all have different constituents, but like at least the ones I represent are going to ask, why is that not an option?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just going to mention I understand the NOI is the formal great way to be provided, and I have provided a lot of feedback myself to DDOT on Lincoln Road, and I do think the one-way, exploring the one-way and the impacts both north and south is kind of important for the public to know when they come back to us with some other concept plans, I guess, or what that impact is on the area. So yeah, I'm happy to work with you on that, so please include me in that. I did some more door knocking this past week, and had some good conversation. So yeah, I appreciate your assistance on all this stuff, Commissioner Sani, and forward to working with you. Commissioner Jones.
Can you talk a little bit more? about the bus, repurposing the bus stops, is that like repurposing the ones that are no longer going to be stops and, like art or something?
Yeah, so the idea is that right now bus stops require curbside access, and that curbside access can be many things, including parking, or it could be some other community benefit. And so the idea is that while we've got this time between the bus stop being retired, like the actual like piece of curb the bus is along being retired from servicing a bus, um, it might be a good time to intercede with ways to improve like public benefit instead of private vehicle storage on the public road. And so the idea would be that we could either streamline or make available to businesses ways like just information that they could use if they were interested, or community neighbors to like work with a local community organization to get a parklet, which could be either could be like in the form of seating, kind of like a streetery-ish kind of thing, or like a mini green space. But VDOT actually has a very well-founded set of regulations around this, which is actually great because it reduces the uncertainty around what can and cannot happen. Yeah, it's all about identifying people who can work with the commission ultimately on that.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments from commissioners? Any members of the public? Questions?
Good question. It's a little bit related, but a little bit unrelated to Cozy Oceanoma again. Has there been conversation with DDOT about making the Eckington neighborhood permitted parking, given like the influx of people who are parking and living here now?
So generally, the ANC does not do that. What actually can happen? Sorry, when you say permanent parking, do you mean like the getting like
Zone
yeah.
zone 2 only after a certain hours?
So neighbors themselves can request directly to DDOT that happens. There's a form on the DDOT website which requires you to get basically a petition of I think over half the households on a block to consent to it. And once they do, it's like a rubber stamp basically, unless there's like a public safety angle to it. But it generally doesn't flow through the ANC at all. If you have any questions about that, you can email the 5f@anc.bc.gov or commissioner directly, and like folks can point you to it. But yeah, it's one thing that doesn't come to us. Now, if DDOT gives you a weird answer and you're solving problems, that's definitely time to like ring the ANC bell and see if we can like shake something loose. But generally, that's something that the city has empowered residents to do.
Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Commissioner Sani. We'll move on to the Zoning and Development Committee. Mr. Stone. Mr. Stone on the line?
He's not on.
All right. Commissioner Bishop Benjamin? Go ahead.
That met, we considered the 2 zoning matters that you've already approved, so I won't relitigate those. It was a fun time. Field trip. We went to go look at an owl.
It's great. Yes. Thank you very much.
And all of Mark's constituents know him.
Yes.
Fun
Yeah.
It's
It's a good field trip. Good to see some friends. All right, we'll move along to Commissioner Bishop Henchman. The Library Task Force, Mr. Garrett, I believe he sent an email.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, if you can cover that, that'd be great, Commissioner Sani.
Yeah, so top line, they're canceling their July and August meetings. They'll be canceling their July and August meetings and resuming the task force meetings in September. We will have a website update to capture that soon. Generally, it's because we're in this like holding pattern right now where we've provided the opportunity for feedback and engagement for DCPL. They've narrowed their site selection to 2 sites. But now, as DCPL has informed us, they are very much like holding the bated breath for the budget season to go through. As mentioned by Commissioner Bishop Henchman last meeting, the money is still in the mayor's proposed budget for the Edgewood Eckington Library. And as mentioned by Mr. Shaw from Councilmember Parker's office, that is something they are actively tracking and making sure it remains as is. Once there's a little more certainty around what a budget looks like there, DCPL will start figuring out like engaging with designers and builders, but also trying to then do larger community surveys on amenities, and that's when our our library task force has engaged them and said they were making themselves available to DCPL to coordinate outreach and try and collect feedback from all stakeholders in the community so we can come up with something that truly serves those who reside in and visit Edgewood. And so just lots of focus around that, especially the MVP connections, et cetera. So very much thankful to the entirely citizen task force for just spending their time doing DCPL on this.
Agreed. Thank you very much. Any other questions from commissioners? All right, moving along, we'll go to appointments to committees or task forces. Public Safety and Health Committee has a few additions here. Sadell Barreto, Nikhil Delahaye, Anupama Tantri, Cynthia Shi as well. We'll move to add these appointments. Is there a second? Yes.
Nikhil wants to rescind.
Nikhil Delahaye. Okay. We'll strike him from that. So the action is for the commission to add Sadell Barreto, Anupama Tantri, and Cynthia Shi to Edgewood. I apologize if I mispronounce any of those names there. We have a motion to, I will motion to add them. Is there a second? Are there any objections? No. Seeing none, hearing none, they will be added to the committees and task forces. Thank you. And then to Zoning and Development Committee, Caroline O'Shea. Is there a motion to add her?
I'll make that.
Commissioner Bishop Henson motions. Any objection? Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Sani. Any objections? Hearing none. Thank you, Caroline O'Shea, for your time. And then to the Library Task Force, Sadell Barreto of Eckington. I will motion to add her to the Library Task Force. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Sani. Any objections? Hearing none. All right, it is 8:55. We end 5 minutes early. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Next meeting, July 15th.
Yes, thank you. Next meeting, July 15th.